Hello, everybody, and welcome to the ITTT weekly live stream. It's Lisa here, and I'm super excited that this live happens every week, and we can talk about teaching and TEFL and stuff like that. So, welcome and thank you for joining me. And if you guys are watching me right now, please let me know if you see and hear me clearly. Okay, so there is a chat box and you can type in your answers there. So please let me know that you see me clearly and hear me clearly, that I know that all this equipment works smooth. Okay, and yeah, hello, Moses. Nice to see you again. Thanks, guys, for joining me weekly. Okay, we are actually ready to start, but I just want to make sure that everything works well. Hello, Gwendolyn. Nice to see you again as well. Thanks for joining me. I'm super glad to see familiar faces. And if you guys watch this live stream for the first time, I have to tell you that we go live weekly. And there are actually 2 live streams on the regular basis. I go live every Tuesday, and my colleague Linda goes live on Fridays. Yeah, thanks a lot for letting me know that everything works. And as for today's point, we are going to talk about online ESL game design a little bit more. So last week, I started showing you the game I was designing. It was Monopoly. And so today I'm going to show you the outcome of the game and also tell you a little bit more about online game design and share some hopefully useful tips on how to do that and how to approach to game design. And yeah, thanks a lot for letting me know that you guys are watching. And right now, please let me know at what stage of your ESL career are you right now. So as for me, I'm an online ESL teacher currently. So I used to teach in a real classroom several years ago, but then I just decided to switch to the online mode of teaching at the beginning of the pandemic. And I found out that this way is more suitable to myself. And yeah, I just keep doing that, and I really like it. And what about you guys? And I hope that you'll give me some of the responses so that I could share them with everybody. Probably some of you are new to ESL teaching or online teaching in general, and that's awesome because you can start from scratch and start implementing different techniques, methodologies, and everything new, which is so awesome. Okay, and yeah, so Gwendolyn is sharing her experience currently. So she's a TEFL certified teacher. That's great to know. Thanks, Gwendolyn. And I'm so pleased that so many professionals are coming to these lives. Okay, and let me just quickly change the slide and make it a little bit bigger. So, oh, yeah, I think this way. So this live stream will be devoted to the game design at the very beginning, and then I will switch to my online game that I prepared for this particular live. And I will will go a little bit deeper and let you know how to work, how it works, and how to play it with your students. And at the very end of the session, I would like to share this game I have prepared for you. So I made a template, and if everything works all right, I will be able to share this template via email or well, some way like that. So stay with me until the end of the session, and you will get this awesome template. I think everybody will benefit from having this template, because it's actually quite time consuming to create online games. So I think it will be useful for you. And well, actually, I prepared a little bit of stats. So I created a poll on YouTube and asked our followers on the online ESL games. So I wanted to find out how many people actually try to play ESL games during their online ESL sessions. And it turns out that a lot of people use online ESL games, and this is just awesome. Because games help us to connect with our students at the highest level, probably, and this is the tool to work on our relationship. And of course, there are also some people who don't use online ESL games at all, or some of them also want to try. And I hope that after this session, you will be interested to try online ESL games with your English students. Hello, guys. Thank you for coming. And hello, Good. I can see that you have joined me again. Thanks a lot. I'm really pleased. And let's see what's next. So why should we try to use online ESL games, or not necessarily online games, but just games for our online ESL classes? So the very first reason would be relationship building. As I have already mentioned, it helps us teachers to connect with the students because through the game, we can train our soft skills and help students to open up. It also helps to motivate our students. Usually when they stick to some theoretical way of practicing English, it makes them bored at the first place, and then they quickly lose their motivation and interest because when we focus on the ordinary way of explaining things, it's just a bit tiresome, right? So using games in our lessons is extremely important. It also helps us to vary classroom dynamics. For example, if you start your lesson with a game, it helps your students to get involved. And then when you transition to something more theoretical and maybe calm, it's easier for them to keep focused on the, I don't know, grammar things and stuff like that. And the last point, which is probably the most crucial one, is that games help us activate our new skills in a really a natural manner. So when we play games, we practice real life skills without understanding that we actually practice something that we have just learned. So as for me, this point is just absolutely amazing. And for example, yesterday when I tried to play my game, hello guys, thanks for joining me. So yesterday, when I played my game, my online game with one of the students, she actually got so impressed that I offered her a slightly different way to practice modal verbs. So she has been feeling a little bit frustrated on this point, on the point of modal verbs. And I noticed that she understands everything completely when it comes to, but when it comes to real practice, she may go blank and just forget some of the usages of modal verbs and stuff like that. So that game helped me a lot on the point of explaining some intermediate level grammar. And a little bit later, I will show you how it actually worked. Because I filmed a part of the lesson just for the sake of showing you. And I will also let you know about some of the drawbacks, because of course we have something really good in the game approach. However, there still are some disadvantages, and I think it's important to let you know about it. And by the way, a little disclaimer. So right now, you can see this. Let me try to show you. So you can see this QR code. You can actually scan it and get to the ITTT website. This QR code gives you a 30% discount to any online ESL TEFL courses you like. So if you guys are willing to start your teaching career, or maybe transition from the classroom teaching to the online teaching, this incentive will be really beneficial for you. Okay. And when we talk about the types of online games, there are two main groups of them. So group A would be without preparation games, and group B would be with preparation games. So, well, both of them can be used at whatever lesson stage you like. So it usually depends on your goals and on the lesson objectives. However, from my point of view, those games which don't require you prepare that much are better to be used at the beginning of your lessons. For example, some warmers where when you don't need to create any board games and visual aids, so you can just think of a really easy engaging activity, and it can be played without any preparation. So for example, I tried to play with my students, with actually with different levels of students, one interesting and fun activity. It was related to their names. So I asked them to take their name, look at the letters in the name, and then come up with the meaning of their names. So for example, my name is Lisa, so I've got 4 letters, and L stands for little, A stands for active, Z stands for zippy, and A stands for actress. So this easy, and different levels of students get so excited about this simple activity, and literally they start thinking in English. With lower levels of students, it's a great idea to practice using a dictionary. For example, yesterday I played that very game with a 10 years old, and I asked her if she had a dictionary and if she ever used it. And it turned out that she had a dictionary, but she didn't really have a chance to try to use that dictionary. So that was the way we practiced that necessary skill. And we also had some fun, and we connected a little bit more. And as for the second group, which is some games that require preparation, they, from my personal point of view, they are more suitable for some activate stages of your lessons. But again, it's just up to you, because this is you who knows the student and understands their abilities, their challenges, like problems and objectives, of course. All right. And when we talk about some online ESL games resources, when we don't want to be creative, when we don't want to spend much time on creating our games for the students, well, basically we don't have that much time to prepare a new game every week or even every lesson. So I would recommend you these 3 resources. So WordWall, Learning Apps, and Games to Learn English. So these websites have engaging activities and interesting games to help your students work on some particular problems. For example, on WordWall, you can find a lot of materials made by other teachers, specifically for some grammar points or vocabulary activities. And the same about learning apps and games to learn English. However, the last one focuses more on some vocabulary games. Okay. Well, so I can see that someone has just sent me an angry emoji. What's wrong, guys? Let me know in the chat box. So I hope you don't get mad with me because of my words or something like that. And as for my replies, I will check out the comments section a little bit later, maybe at the end of the main presentation, and I will try my best to answer you. Okay, so don't get mad. It's all right. We are all people here. Okay. And now I also want to tell you a little bit more about designing games with your own hands. It is also possible, but it takes some more time. I should say that sometimes it's even time consuming, especially when you want to create a really impressive board game like the one that I have done last week, Monopoly. But there are also a lot of templates and worksheets on Google Pictures, for example, and you can use them as well as a part of your online ESL classroom. It it also will be an online game, but you will just use like a paper worksheet on your online whiteboard, for example. So it's a different approach, but it's also useful. So why not? And last week, I told you that I prefer to use actually just two useful tools to create my online lessons and games particularly. They are Miro and Canva. But I also found out that ESL teachers create just extremely beautiful lessons with PowerPoint, and it's just mind-blowing because they create such an amazing content. So I'll show you right now. And yeah, just a quick reminder, Miro is an online collaborative whiteboard. You can create your workspace and share it with your students. So it can be shared with a classroom or with a single student. So if you, for example, work with the whole classroom, you can do that on Miro as well. And I combine Miro with Zoom because Miro's video chat is accessible just on the paid version, and I don't pay for Miro because I just think that all of the features that are presented in the free version are enough for me. So, but it's again up to you. So if you probably want to stay just in one particular tool program, so Miro is just enough because it also has a video chat, a comment section, and things like that. And I also like to create templates and like simple designs on Canva. Especially it's super useful for worksheets and what else, lesson plans. They have just beautiful designs, and you can also add like features like this one, for example. So if you want to find beautiful images, Canva is something to use. And also this sorry, this presentation is made on Canva as well. Okay, and that's what I was mentioned. That's what I mentioned actually. Yeah, I will show you a sample. So as for Canva, here is just a screenshot from my workspace. So this template is for free in the Pro version. So Canva also has different types of subscriptions, and I use the Pro version, so I pay for Canva, but I'm not sure, but I believe there is a free version of Canva which has a limited number of functions, but it is still really useful and convenient. Okay, so you basically find a template based on your objectives and just edit it, add your content, and that's all. You can print it, you can save it as a PDF, as an image, and whatever you need. Okay, and this is what I meant on Microsoft PowerPoint. So this is a game created by an ESL teacher with Microsoft PowerPoint. It's just amazing. So basically, it's a game to color. It's like a coloring worksheet, but the interactive one. You ask your student to name, to say a word from the picture, then you click on it, or you ask your student to click on that word, and this is the way you color the whole picture. Just amazing. So yeah, I don't know personally how to create such presentations, but I'm going to figure that out because it's super useful. So I really want to learn this skill. And I know that PowerPoint has a lot of sophisticated features, and well, you don't have to pay for any of them because PowerPoint is for free on your Microsoft on your computer, right? All right, and this is how my game looks like. So this is the outcome of my Monopoly design. I will transition to the board right now so that you could see how it works. And yeah, basically you can collaborate, play, and create on Miro. You don't need any other tools for that because Miro has all of the features that are necessary for creating and for playing. However, there is one problem which actually lays on the surface, and it's actually quite troublesome to find some apps and some tools for Miro because the features they share on their community, most of them are under the paid subscription. So you need to well, search online for some plugins. And this is actually how I found two useful plugins. And I shared them here as well. So at the end of the session, I will send you a link to this presentation, and you will be able to click and download, install all of these plugins. And for this game design, I also used the real Monopoly rules and the real Monopoly game board. And basically, the whole game is actually like the real one, but with my own content. Okay, and yeah, this is a short. Why doesn't it work? Okay, never mind. So right now, I want to go to the Miro board and show you how the game looks like. Okay, so let me change the sharing feature. Okay. And here we go. So this is my Miro board. And I actually prepared not just one game for you, but to show you how you can also change your games and how you can come up with ideas. So let's just zoom in and look at this game closer. So as I have already mentioned, I used a real Monopoly board template. I just used the Google search, which is here. So I used the image search. I typed in something like Monopoly board. And just added that board on my Miro board. And then I started editing it. I also added this bank picture, the dice picture, and this community chest places. So as you know, if you have already tried to play Monopoly, you know that it starts on this section, and you have to go left as the arrow shows, as the arrow shows you. So I changed all of the pictures, all of the original pictures to the ones that I needed. And I added pictures of different streets and created names for those streets. For example, this one is a happy street, then a careful street. So various names using different adjectives, because I wanted to focus this lesson on the vocabulary we've been learning with my intermediate level student. So these are different adjectives describing feelings. So I thought that this way would be really easy for my student to remember the difficult words, some of the difficult feelings. And it actually worked out. She really enjoyed playing, and she was like, oh, I don't want to buy a miserable street. I want to buy, for example, hopeful street, but it's so expensive, so maybe next time. Yeah, it was really, really fun. What else? I also used some of the original rules, like choose a token, toss a dice. So it's really simple, but I didn't create those rules on my own. But I changed the way you should pay taxes, for example, and the way you should get salary and rent. So this is a little bit, this is the only change I made, I think. I also used the real rules for the jail and for this chance card and community chest card. And thanks God, my student played this game before, and she knew some of the rules. The rules she didn't know, I just explained her quickly before we started, and that's all. And I also chose these beautiful tokens. So if you want to change them, it's super simple. You also have to go to the Google Images and search for like some PNG images. For example, Cinderella. And you need to add PNG. Because if you don't if you don't add PNG, you will get pictures with the, it doesn't work. You will get pictures with the background, and you want to make sure it's like without the background, like this. So this is also the way you can connect with your student. So if you know some of the characters your students like, it's a great idea to use them in your game and help, like, let your student play the character they really like and they admire. And I also used the real pictures of the banknotes. It was also cool because that was the way my student repeated the words related to the money and counting. It was also useful. And what else? I think that is all about the game itself. Right now, let's move on to the community chest and chance cards and this dice feature. This is actually something challenging about Miro itself, because if you don't know where to find those plugins, you basically don't have these features on your board, and you can't play without it. Otherwise, you have to look for some additional programs and move from one tab on your computer to another, and that's not that convenient. So I was so lucky to find this dice feature and this community chest, not community chest, and this card feature. So what's so impressive about those features? On Miro, in the free subscription, there is a dice, but you can't use it if you don't pay for your subscription. So there is no free dice in the free subscription. And as far as I know, the dice that is in the paid version is actually not that convenient. I believe this one is so super cool. The programmers who created this dice, they are just geniuses. Okay, so it works super simple. You have to install it on your board, and when it's done, you put your dice this way. So it's on my dashboard right now. So you put it here, for example. So you add it to your game board, and this is how it works. So when you need to toss the dice, you ask your student to click on the dice itself and choose this rolling hand, and it will change the number of the dots on the dice. So it works super simple, but this feature is really valuable in your online ESL lessons, because you don't have to move to different programs. Okay, and the second fun feature is this one, the flipping card feature. So when it comes to the chance space, for example, when your student takes the chance space like this, you ask your student to pick one card. It can be the card on the top of the pile or any other card. And so they pick, move it to this free space, and then they click to this flipping feature. And this is the way the card turns. So in the original Miro, there is no such feature as this flipping feature. So it's super convenient as well. And you will, if you need those features, if you need those plugins, you will find the link in my presentation that I will share after this session. Okay, and yeah. The second objective of my lesson was to practice modal verbs. And the first one was related to different adjectives. For example, we talked about adjectives with prepositions, and that was the most convenient way to practice remembering those prepositions. So I decided just to use them for the chance cards. All right, so I believe that is all about the Monopoly, but I would like to show you two other types of games that can be designed with Miro and played with various types of students, like with adults, with young students, or maybe with lower levels of English students. So this one is called Activity Ball, And this game was shared with me by my colleague, um, and so by another ESL teacher. She created this template for her students. And this game can be played with different levels, but you always have to change these questions. So, for example, if you want to play with younger students, you have to change the difficult questions to the easier ones. Okay. So how it works? You place different types of stickers, different colors of stickers with numbers in the bowl, and ask your student to pick one number, like on the spot. So they pick the number. If, for example, it's green, they have to go to the green sticker with the particular number. And then they open. And here is a really sophisticated activity. And they have to try to play it. They have to try to, well, they have to try this challenge. So as I have said, as I have mentioned, you can play this type of game with any other levels, but you will need to vary questions. So maybe it's a great idea to create a template as well, and a bank with different questions, with different challenges, and so on. And yeah, different levels of students enjoy playing such games, and this is particularly to activate their speaking skills. So it's super simple, not that much time to create this game, but also really engaging and adorable. And the last type of games, it can be created like in 3 minutes or so. So you just create frame like this, so a background, you find a PNG image of a character. So in my case, it's Cinderella, because we have to play for her mother-in-law, or how do we call those women? So we have to tell Cinderella what to do. And this is the way we can practice different verbs, different action verbs, and different places around our house. And I believe this game can be played with young children, with teenagers, with adults as well. So it's super simple, but really interesting. And yeah, I think that is all for the main part. I also wanted to show you a short video, but unfortunately it's not on my presentation for some reason. I don't know why, but I'll try to do that. And while I'm looking for the video, I would like to encourage you to share your thoughts with me. So what do you guys think about these types of games? And would you dare to play it, or you are still doubtful? Okay, so let me know in the chat box. And after I find that video, I will go to the comment section and see some of your answers and share them, of course. And by the way, guys, I can see that there are so many people today. So I see that many people stay with me patiently, and I'm so pleased for that. I know that you all are busy, and yeah, it's just the middle of the day where I am, and maybe in your places it is like the evening or maybe early morning. So I am really pleased that you are with me today. Okay. All right. So I have found the video, but I'm not sure if you'll hear what we were saying. Okay, but I'll try my best. So maybe I will have to mute myself to show you the video. Okay. It seems to me it won't work because the file is too big. But okay, so never mind. The video is actually the way we played Monopoly with my student. And the reason I wanted to share it is that we actually had more problems than benefits. And to explain you what was the main challenge, I wanted to show you the particular piece of the video, but I'll try to explain with my own words. So when we started playing, I was really lucky that my student knew the game rules. So if she didn't play Monopoly, I am really doubtful that we would be able to play that game because it's quite challenging in terms of explaining the rules itself. Although she knew the rules, I had to explain every step of the game, and moreover, I had to explain how the equipment works. So I had to pre-teach her how to use, for example, some clicking functions, how to install those plugins, because if she doesn't install the plugins, they won't work on her end. So that was the most challenging thing about that game. After we covered all of this stuff, it became easier to play. However, we spent a lot of time on just these technical issues. So I think it would be a great idea if you explain the rules in advance. For example, you take like maybe 10 or 15 minutes of your free time and make a video for your students how to use the game, how to install all of those plugins and so on, so that when your students come to your lesson, you don't waste time on those things. Yeah. And what else? And as for some younger students, probably you will have to ask their parents to help you, just to help you to prepare technically to play the game. Okay. And as for the other games that I showed you, so as I mentioned, they are much easier to comprehend, and compared to Monopoly, they are not that difficult to create. So if you think of your students being maybe not technical, not digital whiz kids, so these games would be easier. Okay, and now I want to go to the comments section and see your answers and questions. All right, so Gwendolyn says that she's not familiar with Miro. You are actually so lucky because you can start discovering this this collaborative whiteboard, and it's super fascinating. You can spend a lot of time there, but it's really something to learn because students appreciate when teachers will put their efforts to create something for them. For example, yesterday my student was really impressed. She said like, wow, you created that game for me, so you had to let me show you. She was super excited about all of these pictures, and she was like, wow, you had to change all of the pictures and did it with your own hands. It's so like, it's so kind from your side. So I was super impressed with that, and yeah, your students will really appreciate your work. All right, let me see what's next. All right, that's glad to know that you guys are interested to use such games. Yeah, that's right. So game design is something that can be a really useful skill for us as teachers. Okay. Wow, there are so many different comments. That's the first time probably. I know, guys, I am usually not that fluent probably when explaining some of my thoughts, but every time I try my best. And today I can see that there are so many feedbacks. So I'm super excited and really impressed. By the way, once again, thank you guys for joining me today. I hope that the content of the session will be useful for you. And it's always so pleasant to know that people find something useful and interesting in these sessions. Okay. I can see that there are some questions related to the other problems of TEFL teaching. I will come to them a little bit later. Right now, I would like to focus on the game design thing and yeah, cover those issues first. Okay, so Lily says that Google Docs is also a great resource. That's right. I know that some people prefer to create the whole classrooms on Google because there is actually that website, Google Classroom, where you can create your space and work with the students there. Yeah, it's super useful, and as I have already said, it's totally up to you. So if you prefer some particular website, some particular tools, stick to them. It's okay. You can just be flexible and adjust to your own needs and to the needs of your student. Okay. Yeah, yes, I know about this feature. So that's a thing, guys. If you have a university email, or as far as I know, your work email related to like university or other schools, you can get Canva Pro or what else, or even Miro for free. But you have to email them. So it's something it's something useful to try. Okay, unfortunately, I don't have a university email, so I have to pay for it. Okay. All right. Yeah, and as for this presentation, I will definitely share the link, and let me do that right now. So I have just posted the presentation in the chat box. So if you copy the link or if you click on it, you will get to the same presentation you can see right now. Yeah, and you can get all of the links and all of the plugins that I've mentioned before. Okay, so feel free to use it, and I hope that you will find it interesting, and it will help you to make your lessons even better. And I have also mentioned that I can share my template, this template with you. So if you guys want to get the Monopoly template, I can share it as well. So I can share it as well, but it will be a little bit harder. It will be a little bit more difficult because I will need to have your emails probably. So guys, if you want to get this template, what's better to do? Please message me on Facebook. Yeah, so this is my name on Facebook. You can message me there, or let me share the link to my profile. So message me on Facebook. Just just write in the chat that you want to get this template, and I will try to help you, and I will try to make a copy and send it to you. Probably I will need your email as well. So I can see that there is one email in the chat box. Oh, sorry. I'm not sure. Unfortunately, I cannot copy your email from this chat box. So it's better to message me on Facebook, okay? I hope it won't cause you any troubles, and it won't bother you. So just feel free to contact me on Facebook, and I will make a duplicate and send this template to your Miro account, okay? So I believe that's it. And yeah, let me change the slide now. So today's session is slightly longer than the usual sessions, but it's cool as well. I'm happy to be helpful, and I'm happy to share my experience and knowledge with you. So right now, I want to move forward to the Q&A session, and it's where I'm going to answer the questions related to TEFL teaching, certification, and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested in taking a TEFL course with us, you can get this 30% discount by scanning the QR code here, or otherwise, you can just quickly click on the link in the chat box, and you will also get the same incentive. Yeah, so if you guys want to get a template of the Monopoly board, send me a private message on Facebook, and I will try to help you. I will copy the template and send to your Miro account, right? And now let me go to the questions. Okay, I can see that there are many questions today, so I want to answer them, and I want to be even more helpful. Okay. So right, thanks for letting me know your name, but right now I have to pronounce it correctly. Is it Yusuf? Let me know if it's correct. If not, maybe it's a great idea to send your name transcription. Okay, and here is a really long question. So let me quickly look through it, and then I will come back with my answer. Yeah, when you finish your 220-hour master TEFL certification, you have two options. You can order one certificate stating that you had like this 220 hours certification, or 120 hours and a separate certificate in teaching young learners and teaching business English. So it's actually up to you which option to choose. I would probably choose separate certificates, but still, like, just to make sure that they are quite apparent. So, for example, how can I use them and how I use my certificate? So I have a 120-hour TEFL certificate, and I always state on various resources that I completed the TEFL course, and here is the certificate. If you, for example, create a profile on some social networks or on teaching platforms, probably it would be a great idea to state different certificates to show various people that you are professional, that you focus on various groups of students, that you can both teach young learners and business English students. And if the certificates are separate, that will be more obvious to your potential clients. This is what I think, but it's totally up to you. So if you believe that you can use the only certificate stating that you obtained like 220 hours course, maybe it's better. Which website do I teach online? I don't teach on any websites currently. I tried italki, but it wasn't easy to get into the platform. Then I also created a profile on Preply, but I decided not to teach on those that resource as well, because they have a really big commission. It was just my decision, because I found students on my own, and work with them directly without any additional, without any third parties. So as for me, it's better. It's always better to find students directly, because this way you don't need to pay any commissions, any fees, and so on. But yeah, for example, my friend, who I had an interview with once. So we filmed an interview with my friend who works on Preply, and she has a lot of students from various places around the globe, and she really likes that resource. And as for italki, as far as I know right now, English teachers can't enter the platform because there are like thousands of English teachers. But by the way, if you want to find a teaching platform for online jobs, you have to check one of my previous live streams related to teaching platforms. It was not that far ago. So you can either go to Facebook and check the folder with the videos, or you can go to our YouTube channel, and we also have a folder related to live streams. So you will find that live stream about teaching platforms. I did like a research and found a lot of interesting platforms that are not that popular, but they still offer nice work opportunities. So make sure you check that one out. And by the way, my colleague Linda, she decided to try teaching on one of the platforms I found for that live stream, and she says it's really cool. It's a Korean one, or maybe Japanese. It is called Cafe Talk. So there are many different online teaching platforms, and you have just keep looking for the best opportunities, because some of them take a huge cut, some of them offer like some incentives, maybe classes for self-development and stuff like that. So it's always like a win-win situation to work for an online teaching platform. All right, yeah, yeah, definitely you can contact me via email. Let me write it down. So if you guys have any questions, you can contact me via this email from the chat box, or you can just simply contact me on Facebook via the private messages. It's also okay. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Okay. What else? Let's see. There is a long question from Moses. Let me see. So I believe the most challenging thing about transition between different careers would be making sure that your potential clients understand your benefits. Actually, those people who came to teaching from another industry, they have a lot of advantages. To be more exact, they are related to personal experience. So teachers who have some other fields background, they are probably more skilled in terms of communication and in terms of working with well, professionals in different fields. So I believe for people who want to start teaching, it's a great idea to try to implement the experience you have already had in teaching. For example, if you are a doctor and you know everything about well, curing people, and you want to teach English and you are skilled in English, it's a great idea to focus on the same group of people. Like you can share your knowledge of English with other doctors. So that's what I think. Another challenge would be proving your professionalism. And this is where TEFL certification may help you a lot. For example, that was my case actually. I was not a real teacher, and I didn't know how to prove that I could teach people, although I was pretty advanced in English. So my choice was to take a TEFL course, and well, that way I proved that I could teach. And practicing, of course. Try to practice as much as you can. Okay. All right, so challenges in online teaching versus challenging in in-class teaching. So when I taught in China, the most difficult challenge was that language gap. So my students were really small. They hardly could speak their native language. And they were quite naughty. I can't say that they were naughty, that because they were just children. It's okay for children to be naughty, but the Chinese schools, they required me to have proper lessons where I had to make all of those 5-year-olds sit down and keep quiet for like 1 hour. It was almost impossible, and that was probably the biggest challenge for me. As for online teaching, probably technical aspects are quite challenging, because not all of the students are really fast in understanding these digital things, and it requires some time to explain them how to use a mouse, how to use a keyboard, and things like that. But apart from that, I don't see any other problems in online teaching. So I think that's all. Okay. All right, guys. I will look at the end of the chat box. I know there are many other comments. All right, so I'm going to answer the last question right now, and this is and that will be the end of this session. It was actually 1 hour and 15 minutes almost. That's pretty long. And again, thank you guys for staying with me. Thank you for joining me in this session. I'm really, really impressed, and I'm really pleased that you come and you talk to me this actively. Okay. So I think that I have already answered this question. So probably it's better to order separate certificates stating that you took different courses instead of the one that has the biggest number of hours on it. But that's just my personal opinion. Maybe it's also a great idea to ask our ITTT manager, who is in charge of issuing certificates. So just simply email the manager, email that email address you received your notifications from. And yeah, just ask them which option is better. All right, so that is all for today. Thank you guys for joining me. Just a quick reminder. If you want to have a copy of my template, text me on Facebook, If you need this presentation, one more time, let me copy the link and share with you. Okay. So if you need this presentation, just follow this link and you will be able to get to Canva presentation and open all of the links I put there. So you will be able to get all this useful stuff as well. And last thing to mention, and here, ITTT is presented on various social media. If you are not subscribed to one of these sources, please feel free to do that. And I hope I'll see you next week again. This session was super, super cool. It was so active, so many feedbacks, so many questions. I'm really, really impressed. And I hope to see you guys soon again. Bye-bye. Have a good week.